Before we begin, please remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with all your friends. Good evening, and welcome to another election night in America, Election Night 2020. This time there are no incumbents, so we first have, from the Democrat side, we have Nancy Pelosi with her Vice President Chuck Schumer, and we have, on the Republican side, Mitch McConnell against Kevin McCarthy. So we have the Senate and the House, all the minority leaders there. Anyway, so this is our final polls, which I don't want to be too mean, but are really good. Wisconsin is Pelosi plus 3.4. Michigan is Pelosi plus 5.5. Pennsylvania is Pelosi plus 4.3. In Minnesota, the state with the longest streak of bleeding blue. The last time it went to a Republican was Richard Nixon in 1972. So plus Pelosi 9.6 there. In Ohio, it's plus McConnell 8.7. The state used to be a state that voted always with the election winner, and we'll see if that streak holds up. If all of our polls are correct, it won't though. Anyway, in Virginia, it's Pelosi plus 14.4. That is a state that used to be a Republican stronghold, then it flipped for Barack Obama, then it's pretty much been solidly Democratic since. In Iowa, similar situation to Ohio there, a little more leftward actually in the past, but now it's McConnell plus 6.3. In New Hampshire, kind of a swing state, not always, usually more leaning Democratic, plus Pelosi plus 11.9%. In Maine's 2nd congressional district, the 1st congressional district there and the at-large vote are not really competitive, but the 2nd district is. And it's plus 2.2 for McConnell. In Nebraska's 2nd district, it's pretty much the opposite situation there. The 1st, 3rd congressional district and the at-large vote are state Republican. In Maine, by the way, the 1st I named were state Democrat, but the 2nd district usually leans more Democrat. And in Florida, Pelosi plus 3.4%. In North Carolina, it's Pelosi plus 3.6%. In Georgia, it's Pelosi plus 0.9. In Texas, it's Pelosi plus 2.6. Wow. In Colorado, it's Pelosi plus 15.5. And in New Mexico, it's Pelosi plus 19.8. Nevada, it's Pelosi plus 8.7. And in Arizona, it's Pelosi plus 3.7. So now let's get to our 7 p.m. poll closings from the states of Indiana, Kentucky, Virginia, South Carolina, Georgia, and the state of Vermont. That is just, by the way our thing is going to be up. So Pelosi is going to be the top number, and McConnell is going to be the bottom number. So just know that. So in Indiana, Mitch McConnell pulling ahead. The Senate Majority Leader pulling ahead. In Kentucky, Senate Majority Leader pulling ahead, 19% of precincts reporting. In Vermont, though, Pelosi wins the state. Until there's a full 1% reporting, we don't actually show percentages. But that state goes to Pelosi. In South Carolina, it is too early to call. We can note, though, a lead for Pelosi. An early lead, with no doubt. In Georgia, their 16 electoral votes are too early to call. We note a lead for Mitch McConnell there with 9% of precincts reporting. In Virginia, let me see. We have actually nothing reporting. Oh wait, I just got an update. We have a small lead for Nancy Pelosi there with 0% of precincts reporting. So this is our electoral map at this hour. We have the states of Indiana and Kentucky called for Mitch McConnell, and the state of Vermont called for Nancy Pelosi. Now we have our 7:30 p.m. on the East poll closings from the states of Ohio, West Virginia, and North Carolina. In West Virginia, Mitch McConnell easily wins their 5 electoral votes. used to be a Democratic stronghold. Then in 2000, it just kind of flipped to being a Republican stronghold. West Virginia's 5 electoral votes go to Mitch McConnell. In Ohio, it is too early to call. And in North Carolina, exact same situation, it's too early to call. And this is our electoral map at this hour. We see we've added one state, West Virginia, which is going to Mitch McConnell, which means that Mitch McConnell has 24 electoral votes and Nancy Pelosi has 3 electoral votes. Now we have a big batch of poll closings coming from the states of Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., Pennsylvania, Michigan, Illinois, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, and the state of Alabama, and Florida. In New Jersey, Nancy Pelosi easily wins the state of New Jersey. In Maryland, Nancy Pelosi wins their 10 electoral votes. In Massachusetts, used to be thought of as the most liberal state in the country. Now Maryland actually takes the spot, as you can see. But anyway, Massachusetts, 11 electoral votes go to Nancy Pelosi. In D.C., Nancy Pelosi will win their 3 electoral votes. In Rhode Island, Nancy Pelosi will win their 4 electoral votes. It is posed to lose 1 electoral vote in the 2020 census, and if that happens, that means that the state with the biggest landmass and the state with the littlest landmass would both be the same amount of electoral votes. But anyway, Rhode Island goes to Nancy Pelosi. And in Connecticut, their 7 electoral votes will go to Nancy Pelosi this November night. Maine has split votes. Now 3/4 of their vote go to Nancy Pelosi. As I said, the 1st congressional district and the at-large vote aren't really competitive. And they go to Nancy Pelosi, as you can see on your screen. In Delaware, Nancy Pelosi will easily win their 3 electoral votes. In Alabama, though, Mitch McConnell will win their 9 electoral votes. In Mississippi, McConnell will win their 6 electoral votes. In the state of Missouri, interesting, it actually used to be a swing state that actually had a streak like Ohio. It always voted with Missouri. Missouri always voted with Louisiana and Arkansas, and they always used to be vote with the election winner like Ohio, but then it stopped in 2008. So anyway, but Missouri's 10 electoral votes will go to Mitch McConnell. In Tennessee, their 11 electoral votes, they're awarding their 11 electoral votes to Mitch McConnell. And we have a CNN projection. In Pennsylvania, Nancy Pelosi pulls ahead with a big enough lead that could shrink a lot, but we think that it's too much of a lead at this point, and with a lot of polling data and just how it went historically, there's basically no chance in our eyes that it flips. Anyway, Nancy Pelosi wins Pennsylvania. She also wins the swing state, of New Hampshire. With 12% of precincts reporting, she pulls ahead with almost 17% more of the vote there. In South Carolina, not really a swing state, but it takes a little while to call. But now we can project it for Mitch McConnell. In Ohio, we can project their electoral votes to Mitch McConnell. And if Nancy Pelosi wins, it will have broken its 60-year streak, like Vigo County, also in Indiana, which has actually not been wrong since it's only been wrong twice since 1952. But anyway, Ohio goes to Mitch McConnell. And in Virginia, Nancy Pelosi wins Virginia. Just took a little bit more time, but Virginia got called for Nancy Pelosi. Anyway, in Illinois, we can project that race for Nancy Pelosi. In Oklahoma, we can project that race for Mitch McConnell. In Kansas, the CNN decision desk can report that Kansas' 6 electoral votes will go to Mitch McConnell. And we have a key race alert. Michigan is too early to call. We can note, though, that Mitch McConnell is leading by almost 6%. In North Carolina, it's too close to call. Only a 1% difference between the two. but Mitch McConnell is leading with 66% of precincts reporting. In Georgia, it is too early to call. 67% of precincts reporting. Actually, we've just switched this to our too close to call column. It is within less than 3 points, and that is our margin for too close to call. 47.4% for Nancy Pelosi and 50.3% for Mitch McConnell. So Mitch McConnell is leading in Georgia, the crucial battleground this time, which we usually can't say about it. Anyway, in Florida, it is too early to call there, but we can note that Pelosi is leading by more than 7 points there, 7.3%, I believe, with 26% of precincts reporting. Anyway, in the swing state of Texas, we usually can't say that. With 16% of precincts reporting, Mitch McConnell has an early lead of 6.6% in Texas. And on your map now, you see a lot of real blue filled in and a lot of red filled in. So just take a look at that. And now we have our 8:30 p.m. poll closings from the one state of Arkansas. And Arkansas's 6 electoral votes will go. That is wrong. It is going to go to Mitch McConnell. And we have a key race alert. Texas, we can now report Texas's 38 electoral votes go to Mitch McConnell. And here we have just the amount of electoral votes for each candidate right now. Pelosi has 15 electoral votes, and Mitch McConnell leading by 29. Remember, Florida could literally just make it tied right now. Not Florida, actually. 19 electoral votes, not 29. Actually, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I was corrected first. Mitch McConnell leading by 29 electoral votes with 144. We have our 9 p.m. poll closings on the east from the states of New York, Louisiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, both of the Dakotas, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, and the state of Arizona. First of all, in New York, Nancy Pelosi easily winning their 29 electoral votes. In Louisiana, Mitch McConnell wins their 8 electoral votes. In North Dakota, Mitch McConnell wins their 3 electoral votes. In South Dakota, Mitch McConnell also wins their 3 electoral votes. In Wyoming, Mitch McConnell wins their 3 electoral votes. In Nebraska, remember how I said one of the districts is competitive? Well, all the others are going to Mitch McConnell. And we have a CNN projection. Minnesota goes to Nancy Pelosi. Also Colorado and New Mexico, all 3 of them go to Nancy Pelosi. North Carolina, a big win, one that they're hoping to flip 2016. They couldn't, but they tried a lot this time, tried really hard. Remember, actually just yesterday, Nancy Pelosi held a big rally there, and I guess it helped. As you can see, she narrowly wins the state of North Carolina's 15 electoral votes allocated to Nancy Pelosi. Anyway, in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, remember the other 4 votes from there were called just a minute ago. Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, though, going to Nancy Pelosi. And Wisconsin, part of that blue wall, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, in that blue wall they're hoping to build with Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. The one that Bill Clinton built and didn't go red for 6 elections, and it went to Donald Trump. But they were hoping to build it back, and they've already built back some of it. Anyway, Nancy Pelosi wins the state of Wisconsin with 66% of precincts reporting. Arizona is too early to call. We can note, though, that Nancy Pelosi has an 8.7% lead there with 34% of precincts reporting. In Georgia, there's 76% of precincts reporting. We can note that Mitch McConnell has a 4.2% lead there, though. Could narrow throughout the night, who knows. Maine's 2nd district, a 1%, just 1% separating the two there. 50% to 49.0%, both point ohs, with 63% of precincts reported. Who knows? No one knows how that will shape out through the night, though. Of course. In Florida, though, it is extremely close. 49.4 for Nancy Pelosi and 49. Oh, wait. I'm just getting a call. I'm sorry about that. Actually, 98% of precincts reporting, and after a little tiny batch of poll closings, polls reporting, they mainly went for Mitch McConnell, and that puts Mitch McConnell over in the state of Florida. Mitch McConnell will go on to win their 29 electoral votes by a 3,000 vote lead, actually. Very small, but enough to win him the state. And here's our electoral map at this hour. They're tied, exactly tied at 194 to 194. Anyway, now we have our 10 p.m. on the East poll closings with the states of Montana, Nevada, Utah, and the state of Iowa. In Montana, Mitch McConnell easily wins their 3 electoral votes. In the state of Utah, Mitch McConnell will go on to win their 6 electoral votes, easily pulling that race out. In the swing state of Iowa, Mitch McConnell will go there. It's a state that has been shifting red in recent years. Iowa's 6 electoral votes will be projected for Mitch McConnell tonight. In Nevada, though, Nancy Pelosi pulls ahead there with just over a 7-point lead there, 7.1 with 46% of precincts reporting. So Nancy Pelosi will win Nevada's 6 electoral votes in Maine's 2nd congressional district, though. Remember, just a minute ago, they were pretty much tied up, but now we can project with the big batch of poll closings that Mitch McConnell will win the state, and whoa, the exact same margins flipped around in Arizona. Too early to call there. And here's our electoral map at this hour. As you see, a lot filling out in that Colorado, New Mexico wall thingy. You see a lot on the east, some in the south with this new call in Florida, fresh off the air. And Pelosi is behind Mitch McConnell by 10 electoral votes, 200 to 210 for Mitch McConnell. Anyway, we have a CNN projection about to come, but just one moment, please. What we call a couple of states. We have poll closings from all the remaining states left over: Washington, Oregon, California, Idaho, Hawaii, and the state of Alaska. In California, Nancy Pelosi will win the state of California, the biggest prize in the United States. In Oregon, Nancy Pelosi will win Oregon's 7 electoral votes. And in Washington, Nancy Pelosi will win their 12 electoral votes, and we have a major projection. CNN can now project that Nancy Pelosi will be elected the 46th President of the United States. And also, Chuck Schumer will be elected the 49th Vice President of the United States, with that call over in Washington, as you can see on your screen, putting them over the top with 274 electoral votes. Those crucial West Coast states, so California, all of them together put them over the top. But in Alaska, Mitch McConnell will win their 3 electoral votes in a relatively closer race than we are actually expecting here. The polls usually in the last couple of elections have been shifted to the to the left a little bit, but not in Alaska this time. Their 3 electoral votes going, though, to Mitch McConnell. In Idaho, their 4 electoral votes will go easily to Mitch McConnell with 0% of precincts reported. In Hawaii, a Democratic stronghold, Nancy Pelosi will go on to win their 4 electoral votes. And there's a CNN projection for you. Arizona will go to Nancy Pelosi, with 99% of precincts reporting Nancy Pelosi wins the state by a considerable margin. Well, not considerable, like 1.3%. It could change by a couple tenths, but it's we know for sure it's not going to change at this point unless there's a huge. Well, actually, no, we just know. In Georgia, though, Mitch McConnell will win with 99 plus. That means that we think it's 100%, but we just don't want to be. We don't ever want to make a false call. But Mitch McConnell will win the state with just 0.9% more than Nancy Pelosi. In Michigan, though, Nancy Pelosi will win their state by almost 10 points. That number is to shrink a little bit more, probably by 2 or 3 points through the night. But we can predict Michigan's 16 electoral votes for Nancy Pelosi by a considerable margin, by 10.1%. And here's our final electoral map. As you can see, this is the YANPS.com map. Nancy Pelosi has 305 electoral votes. And flips from this year are the states of Arizona, the states of Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Nebraska's 2nd congressional district. And actually, thought there's another, but those are all of the shifts. As you can see, there are no Republican gains, but on your map. So anyway, okay guys, so thank you for watching. Be sure to click that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video with all your friends. And leave in the comments or live chat if you like this video. Bye.